Blaupunkt. I have no idea how you pronounce it, but you guys have probably seen this brand before on my channel. These amplifiers promising big power for small amounts of money. And also at one time they had a 12-inch subwoofer for 20 bucks. It lasted for like 6 months at 20 bucks. Couldn't believe it lasted that long. But yeah, they've been known here recently for really cheap, inexpensive products. And it's just because this name that was known back in the 80s and 90s was recently bought by a Chinese manufacturer. So on their website, they have no less than 12 different amplifier models, but they do not have this particular one here, the AMP-1804BT, which is the one we're going to look at today. It's a compact 4-channel amplifier. It's available on Amazon for $83 or eBay for $89.95. That's at the time of this video. So don't get upset with me if the price has changed when you're looking at it. Comes with a manual, it's about 6 pages. Comes with the amplifier. Has a little antenna and then also some hardware there in the bag. As promised earlier, this amp is very compact. 6.7 inches long, 3.8 inches wide by 1.8 inches for the depth. Again, this amplifier is really small. Fits in the palm of your hand almost. It's a Class D 432 channel with built-in lossless 5.0 Bluetooth. What the heck do they mean by that? I don't know. Anyway, it sounds like another fake claim. Max power 1600 watts, RMS power 150 by 4 at 2 ohms, 100 by 4 at 4 ohms. And then we have this really weird crossover slope. Never heard of between 8 and 10 dB per octave. I don't know what's going on with that. Anyway, let's look at the one end of the amp here. For the front channel, we have a gain control, the high-level input. There's a switch for low pass, full, or high pass for the crossover, and variable between 35 Hz and 250 Hz for the crossover. On the other side, we have the rear channel RCAs. We have the Bluetooth antenna connection, another gain control, and the same crossover settings that we saw on channels 1 and 2 with 35 Hz to 250 Hz adjustment. You'll also notice the plastic covers over the RCAs. Those just weren't pulled off at the time of the video. And here's the Bluetooth antenna. It looks like a lot like a home amplifier, and the antennas they use there, very odd in a car. On the opposite side, you'll see the 12-gauge speaker connections, channel 1, 2, 3, and 4. These are across ways. Some of the amplifier use over and under. This one uses across ways. And the outer terminals here are for bridging, if you would like to bridge the amp in either 3-channel mode or 2-channel mode. And then we have 4-gauge for the 12-volt positive and ground connections. Again here, showing the compact size of the amplifier. Impress your friends with the new Blaupunkt cell phone amplifier. Yeah, right.
You big dummy.
Alright, next up we're going to try out the amp, see how it works. Before we do that, make sure you smash a thumbs up. Check out the link in the video description for Wilson Audio merch. First up, we're going to try 4-channel stereo mode. 2 channels measured, 4 channels loaded. 4 ohms is rated 100 watts by 4 at 14.4 volts. Here we go, certified test, 1% THD. Uh-oh, 67 watts. Yes, my friends, we call that a fail. That was over 30% shorter than it was rated. Here at Uncertified, we also get 67 watts per channel, which is well below the 100 watts it is rated per channel. Dynamically, it even does a little bit worse here. We're running 1 kilohertz tone, and we only got 63 and 64 watts right at 14.5 volts. Now, the only good thing here, the efficiency was good. 87.2% is what we measured. Now we're going to try 2 ohm stereo rated 150 watts by 4. Let's try it out here certified first, see what we get. And whoa, notice it jumped right there at the end, 102 and 100, and it really stopped before that. So let's try the uncertified test. It's probably going to give us a cleaner output here for the number. And we're keeping right around 14.4 volts. And right about 116 watts per channel times 4. Again, well short of the rated 150 by 4 RMS that they claim. Dynamic burst here using the 1 kilohertz tone. Yep, still right around 100 watts. We'll say 106 times 4. dynamically. Efficiency again though was pretty good, 82%, which is good at 2 ohms with all 4 channels loaded at 2 ohms. Now we're going to bridge the amplifier, 4 channels bridged down to 2. It's rated 300 watts times 2 at 14.4. Now we already know based on the other numbers it's not going to do this, but let's try it anyway. Here we're using the 40 hertz tone to simulate if you're trying to run it with subwoofers. 212 and 206. Uh-oh. Yeah, we're shaking our head, but you really didn't expect it to do any better, did you, after you saw the other numbers? Well, we'll try uncertified, and again, we're not expecting a whole lot here. 212 and, jumped a little bit, 214, 206, right at 14.46. Again, well shy, almost 100 watts shy of the promised 300 watts by 2. Dynamically, we did get a little bit more power, but again, we're still 80 watts shy of the promises here for this amplifier, which is not good, my friends. Then we decided we'll try the 1 kilohertz track here with the amplifier bridge just to see if it does any better. And look at this, it does that weird thing again with the channels, 210 and 240. So again, yep, didn't do it. Efficiency wise, around 75% or so, 4 ohms bridge, which is not too bad, honestly. Now the results, maybe RMS means something else. I'm going to let you guys come up with the acronym. Put it in the video description below and try to be family friendly. Here is the results of the amp. You can pause this if you'd like to see. We pretty much just showed all of the tests and it came up well shy of the estimated power. Now let's see how easy it is to hook it up to Bluetooth. Is it easy as 1, 2, 3, 4? Here we have the little Blaupunkt AMP-1804 Bluetooth. As you can see, we have no RCA inputs. It just has the Bluetooth antenna. I don't see a switch or anything to turn on the Bluetooth, so we're just going to power it up and see what happens. All right, looks blue there. Now let's check Bluetooth and see if we got, oh, there it is, 1804BT. Pin, I think it's 0000. It's usually what the pin is. Ah, it's a different pin. Let me go look at the manual and see what it is. So according to the manual, the Bluetooth password is 1234. So that's the second easiest password to remember other than 0000. So let's try it again. And 1, 2, 3, 4, pair. Think it's working. Let's make sure the volume is not too high. It's not. All right, let's pick out a song. Bluetooth is connected via the device here. I don't really hear any noise coming from the speakers. Let's try the song out. The volume was all the way, look at that, all the way down, and I've still got sound. So we got plenty of gain here. Oh man, it's bumping. Let's try some Luck Witch, see how it sounds. Now let's find out how you switch between the line level input and the Bluetooth input since there are no switches. Here the amp is on. You can probably hear the music playing in the background. I'm gonna try to plug in RCAs and see if that shuts it off from Bluetooth. All right, apparently not. Let's try just the front. Now let's see what happens when we feed it another signal. See if we get both of them playing. That's interesting. I'm going to disconnect the Bluetooth and see if the RCA inputs actually work then. Well, let's keep this playing. Well, all right, let's go back here. Let's disconnect. Okay. So there you see, as soon as I disconnected, it's playing now. Let's reconnect it and see. Okay, so it switched back, but I'm gonna have to start my track over again. Okay, interesting. So it has some kind of an auto sense, and when it senses the Bluetooth is connected, it shuts off the line level inputs. Now let's take the bottom panel off and find out what's inside this little mini Bluetooth amplifier. There's only 6 screws on the bottom. Take the 6 screws out. Then with a small flat blade screwdriver, you can pull the bottom panel off. Here you see the different components. The inputs there on the left. Bluetooth board. There's a transformer, capacitors, and we'll also see a fuse we'll get to in a minute. 35 volt, 2200 microfarad here for the larger caps. And then here's the Bluetooth module, which we believe has some kind of an amplifier chip on it. Gives it a high gain signal. Here is a heatsink for the output devices. And then here is an IRS2093M chip. This is a driver chip for 4-channel Class D amplifiers. And you can read here what is all involved in this. Pretty much this is the brains of the amplifier right in the very center. And also the 30 amp fuse I was talking about before. If the amp doesn't work for you, make sure you take the bottom panel off and check this. Now let's talk about the good stuff. First off, is inexpensive, compact, has 4-gauge power and ground. It does have Bluetooth connectivity, and the Bluetooth signal level is very hot, so it gives you plenty of level for your Bluetooth signal. Now let's talk about the things that could be better. The power rating is obviously a failure. Bluetooth antenna, really? There's no remote for the gain control. The Bluetooth volume is controlled by the source. It would be real nice to have a little volume for that remotely. It's not marine rated at all, so do not get this wet. And just remember, guys, a cheap amp has got cheap components, so don't expect a whole lot. It did sound okay to me overall, so I mean, for the money, I don't know. I guess it's an okay. I give it maybe. A maybe for a buy, not a yes or a no, but a maybe. So I'll leave that up to you guys. Thanks as always for watching. I appreciate it every week. Till next time, Big D, I'm out of here. Alright guys, a couple of things real quick. I'm going to do the old school SPL challenge soon. I'm going to try out both of these kicker amps. I'm also going to show off this XS50 amplifier soon. So make sure you check out my second channel as well. I'm doing a lot more amp dynos on that channel that don't have much editing. So make sure you check that out in the video description. Big D out.